Alright, finally rolling. Hello everyone, welcome. It's for an art stream. It's April 30th, last day of April. It's been a fine Thursday night. Little rainy, but nothing too horrible. Hope everyone's doing alright, and hope things are going fine, and we're all surviving in this, I guess, post-B-ball apocalypse. Though, it's not really that bad. You know, I think March Madness is still going. Well, actually, no, it's probably not going. I mean, you know, the World Cup's about to start, or maybe it has finished. I actually haven't checked. I guess I'm kind of just making conversation here. But I hope everyone's doing alright. For anyone who's new to this fine stream, welcome. I'm Mastafran. I'm a, artist animator, and this stream is a chronicle of my game development progress, developing Blackmask, a stealth action platform game about a raccoon treasure hunter. And I've been working on this game for a long time, and I'm trying my best not to feel crazy burnt out at the moment. But currently I'm working on a cutscene animation for this, where I'm kind of just putting like little captions at the bottom, and I've kind of just been tackling this for the past few weeks. I'm trying my best to kind of just get some progress done adding foliage. That's going to be the big main thing that I'm going to be tackling, is just getting some foliage stuff done and just get this looking like, more leafy in general. Hope everyone's doing good, because I've been kind of alright. I guess I've been fighting this general unmotivation, where I just am feeling overall just gloomy. And I always worry about these times where I get gloomy, because I tend to feel that I bring down the vibe when it comes to a lot of these streams. I tend to feel as if, I don't want to stream, I'm just gonna be freaking sad for most of the stream. So I gotta try not to bring things down too hard, and just veg for a bit. Just try to just get myself to meditate on this drawing. I've been working on this pixel art for so long, and I'm trying not to feel crazy frustrated at just the long state of working on this. Should probably get like foliage stuff. It's always difficult to really determine, okay, what would make good foliage here. And animating and drawing trees is always just a hell world for me personally. So it is what it is with that. Do things like break up the trees so you can see a sense of depth when it comes to these trees and stuff like that. So I'm trying to just push myself to give the illusion of foliage. I am working harder than I should be for these backgrounds, but it is what it is. I think that's my one big art weakness, is that I am not a big backgrounds person. And it's also half the reason why I'm kind of just don't ever feel that my art's ever good enough, because there's a lot of things that other artists do that I don't do, and I tend to just feel completely inadequate in life, as if I don't really feel like I'm in the right place, or I do the right art, or I don't have anything of interest to say. It probably doesn't matter that I don't have anything interesting to say, But it does says a lot that, you know, I'm kind of just, you know, not really a person who's like, oh, let's, you know, just make something of note. Because I certainly just don't really make anything of note. I kind of just go through my day. I will occasionally just doodle and, you know, whatever. This week has kind of just been an awful drawing week. Like, I managed to finish a logo, I suppose, but that's like, you know, it's a logo. And, you know, that's kind of just about it when it comes to like, okay, what's the most notable art thing I did? I finished a logo. It's okay. I mean, it's a logo. I'm sure a graphic designer could do it way better. But I tend to just feel not happy with my logo design stuff because, one, I'm not happy with a lot of my vector art stuff, and two, I don't want to encourage people to ask me to make their logos because logo design just sucks as a thing. But, you know, this person is an old friend, so I just did them a solid and stuff like that. So it is what it is with that. So hopefully they do good with their endeavors. I'm not really gonna dive crazy deep into like what they're gonna do with their logo and their company and stuff like that. I've kind of just been, you know, pretty hands off when it comes to a lot of stuff. Yeah, trying to just make this look like a bunch of leaves and kind of just get this to look convincing enough. What else have I kind of just been up to? I was gonna color an illustration, and then I kind of just fell off because it just not feeling as like hot with the illustration. I could probably like swap to what I was gonna work on. So if you follow me on social media, I posted this like cat fashion stuff, and it was literally just, I saw a cool outfit on Instagram. I believe it's a Turkish outfit and stuff like that. I forget if it's specifically Turkish or like, I don't know, like vaguely Arabic, but I kind of like, you know, I like the fashion and it, you know, looked good to me. So I drew like a sketch. I initially drew the female variant, but then I also drew this male variant, like I think either like the afternoon after or just far after, but I just never posted it because I guess I was just hoping to just post it here. But you know, it is what it is with that. I could probably do like a vague color job here. Do something like this. Yeah, what happened to my other Concept Craig? I don't know why, but Concept Craig's always just the more reliable of my, I guess, concept art brushes and stuff like that. But it's one of those things where I'm kind of just like, I just have this here in my, this general drawing pile. And I have, people could probably argue they're really clean pencil sketches, but I'm never happy with my pencil sketches. They always kind of just seem like, you know, I have these very messy pencil sketches, and I don't have like a paint style that like goes with these pencil sketches other than Concept Craig, I suppose. Which is probably just half the reason why I just don't bother just drawing on these, cause whatever. I don't even know what the hell to color paint this. Maybe like bright red, maybe like green. You know, like bright orange, just make it the most unreasonably saturated fucking shit. You know, I'm not really looking at references, I'm just picking a color just to fill it in. I guess this will just be my warm-up color because I guess I'm just feeling anxious about my pixel art at the moment. Kind of just feeling this just sense of just unwillingness to work on Blackmask for a bit. I think I'm kind of like hitting a bit of a way where I'm totally just feeling blocked in general. Like just feeling blocked, feeling completely just unwilling to just draw on. I just don't feel that what I'm doing is interesting right now. I'll probably just do this one as pink. Why the hell not? It's a little stereotypical, but I feel like it would probably just go with I guess this like Robin Hood Arabic thing that I'm going at the moment. I think one thing that's kind of like, I guess probably starting to get to me is that a lot of my art's constantly compared to Disney. I'm kind of like, wow, I don't know if it's anything, but I try my damnedest not to draw like Disney if I can. I usually will give my characters smaller eyes, like overall. But, you know, it's probably just me not really, it's just me kind of just feeling insecure about myself because, you know, I'm not really doing animation in general. So I kind of just feel this just sense of just inferiority when it comes to people trying to like compare me to Disney, because then it'll start like reminding me of like what I don't do in general. So that's kind of just a little personal issue that I'm trying to just get over. I'm probably like adding more color than there should be on this, but why not? Just add little mittens. One thing that I don't like about Concept Craig, I like how the toes, like the toe tips, no, have the full foot like this. I don't know. I think one thing that I don't like about Concept Craig is that I can't like get a good like tip going. I'll just have to live with it. Yeah, fuck. I just do like some little painting and just get the stuff there, because I never feel like I'm precise enough with a lot of my like painting, like my actual concept painting stuff. I just kind of just feel like I am messy, which I mean, I probably am, you know, I'm sure people encourage that overall, encourage that sense of like, hey, be messy, be the wacky artist who, you know, this is overall messy and completely unviable for fucking animation because, you know, you're just doing artsy stuff and they'll be a pain in the ass to take this into animation and actually make this work, and you tend to just feel like just irritated by everything. Maybe I'm just projecting. No, I am projecting. What am I saying? I'm absolutely projecting. I'm projecting how much I'm just frustrated about myself. I don't know. I'll just put this here. Just full on, just do some colored layer thing. I don't even know why I do this layer thing other than I learned it from acrylic paint, and I learned it from just general like comic coloring styles. That's kind of just why I do this. I mean, like a third color is just blue. Just have her headdress be like more of a saturated blue, so everyone like comes to this. I guess she's like a royal princess since I've colored her like this. It's difficult to really like find reference pictures of I guess, more commoner characters, because, Pinterest doesn't recommend. It's always the most gaudy costume style things. And I know it should be like doing more research in general when it comes to just a lot of this stuff. Like, a lot of times I feel like I am completely just not doing enough due diligence, looking up and doing research on just historical fashion shit like that for my fictional animal character fantasy bullshit. This guy is one of those things where I just never feel like I either don't have the time or just don't care to. Which is more like, this is more likely, like usually I do have the time, I just don't make the time. That's kind of the truth of it all, is just, I do have the time, I just don't really make the time to work on the thing. Because, bro, it's a pain in the ass. It's also a lot of just frustrating, like, research when it comes to all this stuff. And I never feel like I have enough time. Plus, you tend to just wonder who's gonna give a shit about this, actually. Like, oh wow, you got those people who have hyperfixations and shit like that, but it's kind of like, well, I'm not hyperfixated on this stuff. Like, I'm literally just designing this because I refuse to make fan art because I'm not a fan of things anymore. I haven't even like watched any animation or anything. The last fictional thing I've seen at the moment is Kiter, which was recommended to me by my my Toku friend who likes Toku and stuff like that. So yeah, it is what it is with that. I keep saying that. Fuck. Like do something like this. It's weird that I am putting yellows and blues and stuff like that, but they always just go with each other. It's the best colors to put together, is just yellows and blues. If it's a cool color, it just needs to be warm. That's kind of just the end all be all of it all. Probably could just make the pants also blue. With the pants and internal outfit. Like have a bit of a darker blue. It's kind of weird with this concept cracked brush because it's enough pull for this concept cracked brush that's giving me enough to work with, but still transparent enough that the streaks kind of just drive me nuts sometimes. Where it's kind of like, okay, you're, kind of just painting on top of it, and you could argue that it does look good, but my perfection is like, no, this doesn't look good at all. Why am I doing this? And again, this brush doesn't like taper off into a tip, so it never feels like it's tapering in enough for me. Okay, this is slightly better. Because I don't want it to be an extreme light. I want these values to be slightly more subtle. Because this isn't shiny material. Sucks so much. I guess I'm kind of just here because I don't want to draw freaking foliage. That's literally it. I don't want to draw foliage. And like crank this up, probably like push it warm a little higher. Like push you as warm as we can, just crank you. Just do something like that. Crank you up, push you up here, make you look remotely like you belong. I think one thing that's this is kind of like encouraging me to do is kind of just go as bold with the values in general, because otherwise it just ends up just looking not as good. I could just crank this all the way to off-white. Be like that. Yeah, just do some really vague definition. Of course, gotta get the what's it called? I got the get the cat wrinkles, because I'm creatively bankrupt, damn it, for it, despite the fact that I have little to do with, I guess, being alternative. I'm the most square motherfucker ever. Yet I am obsessed with drawing animal people because I just don't want to socialize. Well, actually, no. I mean, I do. It's just I never feel like my human designs hold a candle to my animal designs at all. Like, it's not even close how much my animal designs are just miles above any of my human designs. Like, none of my human art, like before, ever got as much, I guess, traction as my animal art in general. And, I mean, people can tell that I do enjoy drawing it way more. Like, I enjoy, like, figuring out the design philosophies of, like, the different species and how to, you know, work with both their fur plus the costuming and stuff like that. I guess that's just me. I could probably like crank you a little higher. Much higher. Get you just a wee bit up there. Get as much, just that yellow there. And it looks okay. It looks super okay, bro. Probably like nudge this down, get more values. Push this red, or at least push it cooler. One thing that I don't like about this color wheel specifically is that it's not like mixing colors at all. It's nothing like mixing colors, really. Let's see, red, because I want to Just gray this. It's grayed enough so it just stops catching attention. Yeah, it still just doesn't look good. Yeah, best I can do it. And I could probably do like a little thing where I'll just use the white, add some little highlights. No one's ever gonna notice this. I guess I'll notice it, but who cares? No one actually gives a shit about this. Add some like slight shine to the jewels. Whatever, this all sucks. You know, for insurance, probably just put little bead shine here. No one's gonna notice this. Maybe I'll notice it, but who cares? Alright, I've warmed up enough. Again, these are character designs in a fucking blank space. They don't have other extra poses. They're literally just, I don't know what they actually look like. I just have them here just for... I mean, it's vaguely desert wear. Like, it's, you know, me looking up desert designs and not just specifically make them look like pharaohs. Actually, like, think about, okay, what does actual authentic Egypt clothing look like? And a lot of it's on my Pinterest, and I'm not really doing deeper research overall because I'm fucking lazy and I have to go to my stupid job. Alright, let's actually get back to pixel art, what I was supposed to be doing. Oh, you could probably walk off the stream for now. Who knows? I'm kind of just putting this here just to put it here at the moment. I just put this here just to put it here. Maybe? No? Whatever. I just add more mass at some places. Cause I'm like looking at the distance and it looks like these trees are kind of just falling away in mass. Like when you zoom out, still kind of looks like a bunch of gobbledygook, which I actually should be doing more often, is just zooming the fuck out. Zoom out, kind of just get these trees looking like get this looking a little bit more just overwhelming. They like have this just dissolve. Yeah, that way everything will kind of just collapse into more big blocks of shapes instead of like this weird gobbledygook type foliage. I think that's half the reason why I just don't like drawing foliage, is that these tree lines just never look convincing. Because it's kind of like, okay, you have a picture of foliage, but to me it all kind of just looks like a mass. So how on earth do I like convert this to like something more interesting? I'm not even sure. Is there a way that I could probably like adjust the colors maybe? Yeah, like desaturate this. Alright, so I can toggle this grayscale. I mean, it looks like a mass. It kind of just evolves itself. But it's kind of like as you go at a distance, it kind of like becomes a jumble that would look awful in pixel art. I'll have to see if I can just make that work. I just need to do that. Just focus on making blocks of tone instead of specifically just make blocks of tone. Yeah, maybe I was wrong to be adding this weird little stuff like this. Just use this to block out, perhaps. I don't know why there are pine trees here. Because I do want to at least expand this to be a bit more, you know, just more, just wide as a tree. And just make this feel like it's more of a skyline of wider forested trees. Because again, I don't want to like make this spot unclear. But I also don't want to completely I want this to kind of just vanish into the space, you know? Man, this week has kind of just been not as good, I suppose. Like, I feel like this weekend has kind of like been me feeling just in a really crap mood. Like overall, just a crap mood in general. Plus, I gotta like present for people. You know, I kind of gotta put on the happy face. It also doesn't help that this stupid fucking brush doesn't have the freaking size changer. Why doesn't it have the size changer? I'm pressing as light as I can, it still doesn't fucking do it. Stupid. I know why bother. Just do some little bits again to round this out some more. Okay, let it go. This is foliage. Yeah, like a wee bit more here just to kind of just line this up, make it look more like this vague line that the foliage kind of just looks like. Yeah, let it go here. I like looking out here and kind of seeing like what actually would look interesting. What can help just break up this this line of shading. Just figure out just tiny ways of just breaking this up just to make it look interesting enough. Make it look less round, more, you know, more organic. There's only so much you can really do with pixel art. Especially if you're trying to make this look less blocky overall. Yeah, I'm overall just not happy with how I tackle my backgrounds, but I'll do my best. That's all I can do, is just my best. And just go in there and I mean, normal practice kind of just zoom out, but because I have my preview window here, I can just see it all zoomed out. I don't need to worry about that. I think one thing that I did that I kind of just fumbled is I broke up this skyline here. Alright, can I just do this? This looks okay. It's kind of funny, I've still never played Doom, but I constantly listen to Doom music. It's just that iconic. Literally everyone listens to Doom music. Honestly, I think I listen to music of games that I've never played. And that's kind of just the thing. I frequently feel like a fraud because I don't really play as many games as I'd like to, especially for a person who's like, I'm gonna make video games. I'm not really a person who's like a person who's super into video games because I'm working on a game. It's quite the opposite. I actually tend to just not really get much satisfaction playing games, I'm guessing. Or at least that's kind of how I'm seeing myself. Like, obviously, I streamed Metal Gear and it was really fun. But it is one of those things where it's like, I'm not really chomping at the bit to go to MGS2 or nothing. And it's been so long since I've actually stuck around and played another game. Like, I tried to play another game, like I was trying to play Thief, and I kind of just fallen off of playing Thief some more because I'm either too tired to entertain or I kind of just don't care to play more Thief, I suppose. I think I'm not as big on first-person games as I say I am. So that's probably a deal breaker for me when it comes to getting to Thief, I suppose. Alright. Just let you go here. Again, trying to just break up this blackness. Kind of just get you looking, not as freaking stiff looking. I don't know. No. Get rid of this. Let's mark this as the top of the tree. Okay. Again, I need to break up the silhouette. You just knock this out. Yeah, do this, just kind of just break up the silhouette just enough. I may just start with a tree shape. Fuck, what's wrong here? Stupid fucking. Okay. Yeah, just use this to kind of just rip off blocks, kind of just keep the shape of the tree while still kind of just looking like the leaves. Yeah, that's a notable technique when it comes to trying to like make tree drawings less boring, is to try to like start with a bigger tree shape instead of trying to like draw the leaves. I guess it's sensible advice. I still feel like kind of just going nowhere with a lot of this advice though. Use this. And then we'll kind of, then we'll break it. Break up these, break this silhouette out, so. Break up the silhouette. That's what I'm doing. Finding tiny ways to just break up these silhouettes. Kind of just make it seem like it's not like one giant block of blocks, you know? Because a lot of these look like really ugly blobs. Yeah, look at more tree rust. Kind of just feel like this is not right. Just getting unreasonably precious about this, but yeah, just fill out, get rid of the jaggies. Can I just do my best? Can I just make this feel not as fucking shit? No. illusion of detail. I still just see how crap the detail is. It's also the fact that I kind of am not as aware like what the world is that I want it to be. Yeah, I'm probably just adding way too much detail. Especially since this spot still just looks so blocky. I really don't like how these look. Alright, you know what? Maybe I just need to just let you go. Deus Ex is also another game that I just own, but I just don't bother playing because it's kind of just a game that I kind of just am really not up to playing. I don't know why. I mean, I probably know why, because I just never have much of an interest in PC games, I'm guessing. I mean, if I did have interest, I'd make time for it. I mean, that's the logic. Because I also own Human Revolution, like I own like the Adam Jensen Deus Ex games. But I, just they still just don't appeal to me. I don't know why. Yeah. Just let this vanish away. Improve the composition. Don't need to do anything insane, just improve the composition. Let's just break it all up. Let's use the silhouettes to kind of just add more to it. Just figure out how you can just get a nice, interesting foliage shadow. Good. This spot's supposed to not be as important. They keep confusing the trees for the leaves. Of course, I want to like break this up as like a shadow mass, just for clarity. Like break this up to break this up, break it up for clarity. A lot of things I'm kind of just doing just to have things have a shred of clarity. Alright. So far, so good. I mean, it looks okay. And these leaves still kind of look jank. Maybe I'm just letting my underconfidence kind of just kill this. Break this down, break it apart, get this looking different. Okay. It looks like the the foliage is kind of just blending inside. I don't like these lines, so I'm just gonna dump these lines. Yeah, just dump these lines. That kind of just makes it look more unclear than it really should be. These weird stray lines. Yeah, it's kind of just ruining the clarity. And I'm kind of just looking at this entire thing just to see like what's interesting about it. Still feel like I need to color this coast white. This actually looks kind of interesting looking. Okay, this actually looks more decent for the rocks. Yeah, maybe I'll just keep this one bit for just clarity's sake. Let's see if I made coal just overall lighter colored. Alright, so coal sticks out a bit more. Yeah, coal's sticking out way more overall. So one thing that I'm going to do that's going to be just incredibly dumb, I'm going to experiment with this. I'm actually going to use wave warp to kind of see if I can't add like a slight bit of like wavy water, perhaps. There you are. Let's see. I actually kind of like how this is. Like water. What if I put the 8? Okay. I think I know what I could do with this. Put this. Put this. This is probably like completely useless, but let's see. This looks okay. I don't like that this water blinks a bit. Gonna maybe like put a I don't know why it's up here when it could be here. Let's see. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just dumpster this. Doesn't really matter anyway. There you are. Now you're looking slightly better. You know what? Looks kind of okay. I mean, it ain't perfect, but you know, it kind of looks fine for, you know, still water. Man, kind of just overthinking it. I think I'll probably just let this go. Man, I'm kind of just overthinking this all. You know what? I'll come back to this. I'll be right back. Alright, we'll return to doing some stuff with some running animations, and I think right now I'll also work on a bit of like go back to my painting stuff and then just wrap the stream. So I want to at least get some of the side runs done, because that's also kind of just been there. So let's see. And notice that, yes, this. There's a bit of a loose color here, so I want to clean this up right here. Okay. Probably doesn't even matter, but it is what it is with that. Looks alright. Yeah, Shawnee, welcome, welcome. Enjoy the half-like music as Cole's running. Yeah, just doing some bit of you know, work stream stuff with this. Managed to make a tiny bit of progress. What is this? Yep. Managed to make a teeny bit of progress on some of my cutscene stuff. Managed to get this big background down. It's pretty alright. You know, I'm never happy with the leaf foliage, but honestly, I'm just gonna let it go. It's probably just very difficult to just polish this, so I'm just gonna let it rock with that. Anyway, we're gonna see if we can't get back to just these general running animations. Do I start with the grayscale and colorize it later? Not really. Like, the grayscale is mostly just a personal choice for this. Like, it's still monochrome, just otherwise. Like, usually I would just start with the green, but I have been kind of like pondering about whether or not to color it, like color it all. But overall, yeah, usually I kind of just I usually will just start monochrome in general, and that would just be the green from the start. But for this one, I kind of just start gray just to have something different. Probably doesn't matter that much, but it is one of those things where I do wonder if anyone actually cares or not. So it is what it is. And then it goes down to these runes, and then down to the off black. And then I can do things like Cole on the coastline right here. Do a wide shot with Cole like this, and the yellow here. Do it like this. And it'll look like it's within the actual art direction. Of course, I could readjust the dark gray to be dark gray. And of course, there's some little things with the lake trees and stuff like that. Oh yeah, as a process, it might be useful focusing on the values and contrast first. Oh yeah, that's just generally how I do art in general, is I will focus on like working monochrome, so all the values and the contrast and making sure everything kind of just starts readable. But usually I kind of just start with a monochrome green just to see if it'll actually just all work together in this Game Boy look. And I mean, so far it does look like what it's supposed to be. There are some things that I'd probably rework, like Cole's coat would be darker, but it kind of like blends a bit. So it's one of those things where it's like, do I like leave it open or not? But, you know, it's one of those things where I kind of just, you know, it's a lot of decisions I kind of ponder when it comes to how much I want to commit to this art style overall. Because it's like, okay, it's Game Boy art style, it's appealing, it's distinct. But, you know, as a limitation, it might be a little boring with the monochrome and stuff like that. So it is what it is with that. I do know how I can color it because, you know, I'm an artist. I know how I could color this. But I usually just start with a green monochrome just so I can, you know, just get these done faster because I'm the only artist. So, let's see. So is this... Yes, this looks like... It looks decent enough, so we're just going to add some details to the jack to kind of just get it looking a little bit better here. But yeah, otherwise it's an overall just chill night of just getting this done. Doing these streams is usually the most work I ever get to do with a lot of Blackmask stuff. Like, if I'm not doing these streams, I think I'm not even working on Blackmask. It's one of those things where it's kind of just the sad truth of it all. I'm at work and then I'm working on commissions, and that's kind of just that. So, you know, for anyone who's wondering how the state of development is, I mean, it's kind of alright if you're thinking about it in terms of all the programming stuff that needs done. Like, my programmer managed to get Nad, the boss of the demo, in a state where he's actually able to go to the second phase of his boss fight and use all his trick arrow stuff. But beyond that, it's mostly just a slow process on getting that all done, because, you know, we both have day jobs. We only have so much time to dedicate to this. It's sad, but it is what it is. I know I personally sometimes feel like I'm kind of just spinning my wheels at the moment, because I feel as if, I guess for me as an artist, I'm overall just more impatient about like getting all the art stuff done, because I'm used to not working longer than maybe like a month or so on a project. So sometimes I feel this sense that I might be either spending too much time on minuscule things. I sometimes assume that I'm a bottleneck with a likely development process. And sometimes I kind of like feel like, oh, am I being perfectionist about all my stuff? I don't know for sure. So I can't be constantly doubting myself with this kind of stuff. So I kind of have to essentially just stay the course, because otherwise it'll be like all the other times where you claim you're making a game, but essentially you're just procrastinating on it because you're just known as the guy who says they're making a game, but not actually making the game, so to speak. You know, it's kind of like a novelist who constantly says that they're a novelist, but they haven't written a single page in their book. You know, they're constantly like procrastinating on that book. And I always feel self-conscious about that, especially when I was like, oh, am I a game developer? Well, I'm not sure. I haven't made tiny games. I'm a pixel artist, I suppose, but in terms of game development, you know, capital G game development, I don't really do that much. Like, I don't program that much, mostly just make pixel art. So that's always kind of just one of those things where I just essentially let that go. I could probably like get rid of this, because yeah, just get rid of you. Yeah, just get started just working on just getting basic blocking shapes. And obviously there's nothing wrong with like being the ideas guy or like the guy who has ambitions and stuff like that. But again, sometimes I feel like that one guy who, you know, he has a million ideas, but never is brave enough to execute on those ideas because that fear of failure. And I significantly fear failure, of course. I think anyone with sense fears failure. Obviously, when you're fearing failure, it means that you're not doing the work to alleviate that fear, so to speak. But it is still there. It's not like fear vanishes just because you acknowledge it. It's a thing you gotta work on. So, that is what it is with that. And I do my best to kind of just not get myself completely defined by the fact that I'm spooked about game development and putting yourself out there and being vulnerable about your work. As far as Blackmask goes, it's been in production a long time, so losing my mind is understandable. That's very true. Again, this would have been a comic, and I spent a lot of time not like drawing it as a comic. And meanwhile, I'm seeing other people like have their own like comics, and I'm kind of like, I could do this. Like, I could totally do this, because I legit believe that I could bang this out as a comic in like a month, because I trained myself to be able to do that. Yeah, I know, because I worked on my previous game for 5 years, never released. Oh yeah, I gotta get something out the door for my own city. Oh yeah, exactly. I think that's, I hear that's common with a lot of game devs, especially in like bigger studios, is, I guess back in the day when like E3 was still a thing, they released the E3 trailer, the demo, mainly for morale's sake, like to just get the crew to kind of just feel the reaction that people are getting hyped for that anticipated game that they've been blowing a lot of time making a demo for, making a trailer for. So, I could see that. I think one little fumble that I feel like one fumble that I've kind of made is that I announced that I was working on this game way too early for just general tastes. Like, sometimes I feel like I should not have talked about it on social media. I probably could have kept it on like my more private channels of like, oh hey, I'm kind of like working on this, because again, I was expecting to like be done with this way faster than reality. I like that, how much it switches lights. I'm just gonna this probably just looks overall better. Yeah, you only show your game to other devs. Yeah, I think that's kind of that. I should have only just shown my game to other devs, because that way the pressure is not on to be, I guess, entertaining. Yeah, devs aren't customers, so it doesn't feel like marketing too early. Oh no. Like, I think the biggest mistake with like, I guess a lot of, devs, especially when it comes to marketing, is that when they're posting like those game dev Reddits or the game dev Discords and things like that, they're posting to appeal to other game devs, and they're not really posting to appeal to gamers, like game players, like people who are going to purchase the game. So you're not really like appealing to people like streamers or less players and things like that. So that means like marketing that game is a matter of like, you're not really, if you don't like catch those people early, it's gonna be an uphill climb to actually like get word of your game out. I mean, obviously you email a code to people and stuff like that, but then they're kind of like beholden to them getting to it eventually and stuff like that. So, you make of that what you will. But I guess one tiny thing about, announcing your game early is that you have time to, talk about it, figure out your, advertising voice, or cultivate that community of people who, you know, they're gonna like your stuff overall, because essentially you're a you know, you're a stand-up person. Like, usually a lot of the initial hype when it comes to wish lists, or like you know, like Steam, you know, the like the Steam, like getting noticed on the Steam algorithm and the Steam front page, or whatever it's called, is that you had that contingency of initial buyers that will, you know, that will push your game to the forefront. I think it's similar to how Amazon does their stuff, because if it has a lot of like people doing that initial purchase of stuff, that'll tell Amazon to give you the momentum to recommend this to other, you know, to constantly push that in their algorithm and stuff like that. I don't know the bigger details of that. I catch some marketing things here and there, but that's sort of how Steam works. There's other things with Steam, but I need to like look it up again just to triple check, because there's a whole bunch of other Steam rigmarole that I need to ask other devs about, because, you know, again, a lot of this is out of my wheelhouse, and I'm gonna have to learn this if I want to actually make this work in general. So, it is what it is with that. You'll probably do this. But I mean, obviously I don't need to worry about that now, because the point of doing this is to actually just get this shit out the door. So that's my problem right now, is just get these cutscenes to a state where I could, you know, let this go. Or at least have enough, you know, quote unquote, like generic cutscene stuff. Because that's what these running loops are. Is I plan to have these as like a reusable running loop. So I like change the background, and maybe I'll change Cole's expressions and stuff like that, but keep these animations similar for like little situations where it's like either Cole's on the chase for something or running away from someone and stuff like that. So that's kind of just why I'm like putting these loops here. Okay. Yeah, it's reusing animation drawings. It's the Hanna-Barbera way. I also plan to do that for some enemies as well. I don't know if you've seen my other social media posts, but I plan to reuse the bear animations for bull animations. So if I have a bull enemy, I'm going to head swap the bear, and then they're going to be the bull enemy. And obviously I'll probably add like other animations, you know, that's more unique to the bull and stuff like that. But I'd say the general walking animations are going to be reused and stuff like that. You know, no pun intended, but I want to use the entire buffalo if I can. And again, as the only artist, I kind of take whatever shortcuts I got. Okay. Shading looks consistent. Okay, I could probably color the coat this color. Might be able to like do some like wrinkle adjustments, and I can explain it, but do some initial like coloring here in that way, it'll look right. I think it really you put you here. Yep. Okay. Yeah, a lot of that happens in anime. Shows with the transformation sequences. Previously, there's less obviously. There's a lot of stock animation all over Evangelion's mission scenes. Oh yeah, like anime reuse animation all the time. Like it's half the reason why it still looks good despite their obvious like lack of budget. Sometimes is they'll reuse whatever stuff. Like a lot of those when you see those animations on social media about like with mechs like moving their stuff, you've probably seen it all over, where it's like it has like those really super detailed things. If you actually look deeper into them, the only things that's actually moving are the the hands that are actually moving. That's allowed. It sounds a little stupid, but when you're actually looking at it, you're noticing that only a few things are actually moving, not necessarily that it's high quality animation. It's just you're seeing an illustration with little bits of animation on it. So with I'm trying to like describe that one mech animation where this person is moving the robot hand to test how it works, and essentially he's like squeezing the hand to make sure it works and things like that. He's like pressing the button and the hand like squeezes when he presses the button and stuff like that. So if you're looking at it hard enough, you'll actually notice that it's only the character's hand. It's not the character's sleeve. It's not the background elements. It's not his seat. It's not like the things that are not the pistons and stuff like that. That's the only things that are animated. So you'll notice that I probably should have brought in an example, but I'll probably maybe edit it to kind of just show it off later or something like that. But essentially, there's a lot of little things where it does segmented animation like that. Yeah, a lot of TV anime does that segmented and limited animation all over the place. Like characters will nod their head or move their arm during dialogue, with most of their body being drawn once. Oh yeah, and also those like high detailed, oh, do you remember how 90s anime was really good? It's because most of those are from OVAs or from movies. Like, of course, they have higher budget and higher quality animation because they're movies as compared to TV anime. So, that's kind of just one of those things a lot of people don't, think about when it comes to, anime looked better back in the day. Well, that's not necessarily the case. So that's kind of just one of those things that I guess get into my craw when it comes to animation stuff, because anime, they cut corners too. Like, it's not like they don't. In fact, they need to. Like, a lot of Japanese animators are kind of just worked to the bone. They end up having really teeny paychecks, and they kind of live in really low-end apartments because it's expensive to be out. I don't know if a lot of those anime studios are in Tokyo or Kyoto or anything like that. I don't know specifically how it goes, but essentially it's expensive to live closer to those cities, so they are kind of paid pennies overall. So I mean, that's kind of how a lot of animation jobs are, I'd say. But yeah, when you're low budget, you tend to figure out ways to kind of just cut corners overall. Alright, this coat. Okay. I'm just gonna delete this. Okay, it looks okay. Obviously, I need to rework the tail some more. Yeah, most are in Tokyo, there are a handful in Osaka and Kyoto. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, they're, you know, the largest Japanese city, so of course they would. But honestly, that's not, like, indicative of, like, the important studios. Like, again, Chicago is, I think, what, the third largest city in the state. But of course, there really aren't many animation studios in Chicago. So it's kind of just one of those things where, you know, just because one thing's true doesn't mean a different thing's true. Okay. So I think one thing that I could do with this, unlock you, put you here. Put you here. Put you lower here, and that'll be that. Alright. The push comes a shovel, probably just take this down here. Yeah, industries clustering to specific cities. I think Chicago is big, but when it comes to advertising production, yeah, that's true. There's a lot of advertising companies in Chicago, specifically in terms of, I guess, animation and like video effects and stuff like that. Yeah, there's more like advertisement animation in Chicago. I know Calabash Animation is in Chicago, and they make a lot of the the Trick cereal commercials and stuff like that. But also, they do make a lot of like casino games, if we're gonna stay with like video game stuff. I know, obviously NetherRealm's in Chicago, and I think Iron Galaxy's in Chicago as well. I have to look that up some more. But I think NetherRealm, Iron Galaxy, Zynga, I think Zynga closed down. Yeah, but Zynga, Incredible Technology, I think Raw Thrills is still in Chicago. I don't remember if they're still in Chicago. I think they moved to Indiana. I'd have to look that up some more. But yeah, Raw Thrills is in Chicago. Who else is like the big notable ones? Like, I know a lot of like casino game developers are in Chicago because, you know, it's casino game stuff. I already mentioned Zynga, so yeah, mobile game devs. Volition closed down. High Voltage. I think High Voltage Software is still around. I am literally kind of just remembering my freaking job submission things and be like, okay, which ones did I like submit jobs to? And I'm kind of just trying to just remember them off the top of my head. Also, I think I forget what the company is, but there's also like CAD production companies too, like architecture stuff that use like AutoCAD. And I tried applying for that just to see if I could, because I still had a tiny bit of 3D knowledge from 3D Studio Max, but they actually wanted AutoCAD stuff specifically, which is a bit of a pain in the butt, but yeah, that's kind of just how that goes. Let's see. But yeah, in terms of, I guess, animation jobs, there's a lot of specific stuff. So yeah, you're mostly got to go to either California or Georgia. I applied for a storyboarding job at I think like Peach Creek Studios, like the studios behind Archer and Family Guy and stuff like that. I think that's the only like animation studio in Georgia applied for. There probably is more, but I kind of just, I think I was hitting a point where I've just completely given up on like like job searching for art stuff and just go back to my little job as a, you know, silly Walmart guy. I mean, there's nothing saying that I couldn't try some more. Like, obviously, you know, the only reason that I'm not really like finding jobs is because I'm giving up the job search. So I mean, it's not like it's impossible. It's not like I don't have the skills. Okay. Man, it gets in the way of the legs here. Oh wait, I think I know what I could do here. So what I could do here is I could actually rotate higher. Start here. And that could probably like work a little better. Flip you. Where is that? Oh, flip vertical. Let's see, you gonna work? Kind of work. I was cooking with this. All right, you're up. Yeah, put you up here. Nudge this up. Get rid of you, but then put this here. I think I get rid of this. Well, the coat will be like this. And of course, I could probably just color the coat green anyway. I kind of just get this coat just colored green. Again, I need to get that rolling here. It sounds like a rough environment. Yeah, I mean, it's typical with creation stuff. Like, again, I'm not actively job hunting in creation jobs at the moment, like animation creation jobs, but it's not like I can't. But it is one of those things where I'm not actively looking for a new job at the moment. I mean, that's not true. I do want to find a different job, but obviously the job market is absolutely borked. But right now I currently just have a decent enough regular job. Obviously it makes me tired, but that's kind of just the nature of having a job in the morning, you know. That's, you know, I'm getting paid decently, and thus I'm working hours that, you know, are kind of just a little up, but it is what it is with that. Okay. The toughest thing about tail animation is that you kind of want to okay. grab you. And then just use this as I think the one thing that's really kind of just screwing me is that this isn't alright, see you later. Yeah, this is this will be the stripes are kind of like throwing me a little. So I'll color you here, then color this so the blacks vanish here. Get you here, and now the foot can at least look different. I can also probably just reposition the foot. Yeah, why don't I just do that instead? Dump the tail, but just reposition the foot. Yeah, we're just gonna reposition just where the foot goes. Of course, I personally rotate you. A little bit better here. And you'll look a little better. How's the tail looking? How are we looking here? Okay. I mean, this was looking fine. Why am I not happy with how this tail animation goes besides the obvious? I'm making a coat animation with a tail animation because Cole is a badly designed character and I'm an insane person for thinking giving an animal character with a long bushy tail a long coat too is the pinnacle of coolness. Long coats are cool and bushy tails are cute. So what if I combine that? Haha. I'm certainly never going to animate this in a sense that, like, I'm gonna have to worry about it. Nope. You know, it all like comes together. I never have to worry about that, do I? Nope. But yeah, enough dumping on myself for my questionable character design decisions. Okay. Okay. It will reach just you. I'm a little tired. What time is it? Oh wow, 9 p.m. I need to just wrap this. Just let you go here. All right. Put you here. Yeah. Right. You're down here. You need to go up. Down here. Up. Down. Up. So. Okay. Let's try. Maybe like a slide up. Probably won't even matter, but let's see. Just a wee bit more just downness to this. Kind of just have you like here. And that way you kind of just adhere to this here. Probably a bit of an extreme movement, but perhaps it'll work. Let's see. It's kind of a crap solution. I think one thing that's kind of just fumbling me here is that the jacket needs to be like way lower. I think that's what I need to do. Just nudge this jacket just way lower. Let's go. Dumpster that. Dumpster you. It kind of might work. Have that go down here. It kind of flops around. May I just need to let this go. But I mean, polishing has been pretty okay. Obviously, there's much more that I could work on. I think I'm probably just gonna let you go. I feel like, for some reason, this animation looks smoother than this animation. Let me nudge you over. Oops. Alright. I think it's the fact that this is, you know, kind of like, looks like this. And this is kind of more of a copy-paste look. Alright. I think I'll just let you go for now. Ugh. I'm heckin' tired. I need to wake up early tomorrow. I'm not sure how long I'll stream next week, but I will indeed try to do another stream either next Thursday or next Wednesday, depending on whether or not frickin' life plans are gonna go smooth this time, because the week has kind of just been crap. But I'll try to just not elaborate too much on that. Anywho, thank you everyone for stopping by. Hope everyone's doing well. Stay safe. Stay sane. It is what it is with that. But thank you all for stopping by my art stream. And we'll see you all next week. Have a good night.